Good morning. I wanted to improve your online experience and just offer a video. Today we're going to be talking about wood. You're working in your construction materials chapters right now, learning about all different types of wood. My husband and I have used a lot of wood products in the home that we're building, and so I thought it would be a good opportunity to be able to share some of those with you. Wood is a green and sustainable product. It's a renewable resource, so it can regenerate itself, which gives it a low embodied energy. We do need to be careful about looking at the type of fuel delivery and distance that we have to move the product, because this will impact its sustainability. But it's a great product. It's obviously the first material ever used that is useful for building, and so just wanted to share with you some different wood products that we have here on the house. So with that, I apologize for the informality of this video, but I hope that you enjoy. Just want to talk a little bit about railroad ties. They're very popular and an opportunity to be able to be used for a lot of different things. We've used them for fencing here in this situation. A lot of times they're made out of oak, which is a good wood that really can protect itself from the impact of weather. They also use a kerosene oil on it, which is not very environmental friendly. However, it helps protect the wood as well. My husband does demolition, and so there was some wood that we pulled off of a project, an industrial project demolition that we did there off of 3rd Street in Sacramento. So you can see with the combination of steel and wood, we've been able to come up with some pretty creative ways of being able to build wood into this entry gate that we have. We use railroad ties again for some of the lining of our road that we have in our driveway. It just helps keep all of the base rock where it needs to be. Here in the garden, we have a structure. This is redwood that's used as the 1x2s that you see. It's faded from the sun, and I need to go through and restain it, but because it's redwood, it also is very good in the weather elements. You can see the 4x4s that we're using to hold the structure. Those are brown, and that's actually a treated wood so that it helps protect it from the weather elements. It's a Doug fir, so it's a little bit softer wood and doesn't last as well outside. So we use this treated wood when we're working on things like sill plates and weather exposed wood areas. You can see we also have the treated wood here for the 2x12s that are in the garden bed, and then we have the 4x4s that the 2x12s are just bolted into on either side. So again, all kinds of different uses for the wood that we have. You know, barn wood has become really popular and a lot of people using it. I want to show you a little trick. We had a neighbor whose fence, it was a redwood ear-dogged fence, fell down, and thus we used it to skin our tough shed, and works pretty good with the look of the old wood. We have a friend who's an absolutely amazing welder, and so he was able to go and put this nice door on for us, and again repurpose the runners on that from that industrial project. We also use a lot of that wood from the industrial project as the trim on the exterior of the home. So you're going to see that this is going to get quite a bit of weather exposure, and so because of that, in order to be able to protect the wood, you put flashing up on the top. So we have copper flashing on the very top of this. So if it does rain, there is no water that can get behind the wood. It would just be an impact to the surface and for the most part hit the wood and then be able to run off. We also have caulking that's down the side of those windows. We have the beams that are here. These are 6-inch beams. They not all of them were properly cured before they came to the job site, so we did experience some twisting that happened, and so you can see here on this last beam a little bit of twisting that occurred. So we went ahead and put these metal plates on in order to be able to help protect that from getting any worse than what it was. We went ahead and used this wood again, this refurbished wood, on the eave of the house. A lot of character. You can see where all of the old green chain marks from the lumber sawmill are on the wood, and it just really gives it a lot of character. And it's a little bit dark, but I still love it. So really excited to be able to have as much of this as we can to use. We're actually also using it to build our door for our house. This was actually a pretty cool thing. They took hydrogen peroxide and sprayed it on the frame of the door in order to be able to accelerate the rusting process. And then we'll put a clear coat to hold all of that in place. So walking into the house, we have this is my pantry door. I want to show it to you first because it's an alder wood, which is a hard wood. You can see the character of all of the different knots that are in it, but this is unfinished, and so this is a plain palette to be able to work on. We're going to be staining it the same color as the interior doors, so you can see here what it looks like after you've added a stain to it. But again, just a really rich, pretty color to those doors. We used all of the old wood for the trim. And then we come into this room here, and you can see the refurbished wood that we've used from an old house. This is an old farmhouse that was anywhere between 60 to 80 years old, has several layers of paint. So you can see that the wood actually can stay in a very nice condition with the protection of paint. And so the only thing that's really damaging this wood is in these nail hole areas where you can see water has probably gotten in there and rusted out the nails and caused any of the damage that would be happening to that wood. So just a little feature wall that we have going on here. Just this wood that we have on these exterior windows and doors, these are Pella. They're very nice windows. This is a true wood that they have on these. It just has a little bit different finish to it. We have a hickory that we used on our cabinets. You can see all of the different character strands in that, as well as the knots. It has a lot of really pretty color to it, and so it's a really nice wood to use as a finished product. In the interior, you know, this would be an engineered wood product. You can see the multiple layers, which would represent plywood or any of that engineered wood that might be used. This is just plywood that is protecting our pass-through window that we have. So one of the other wood products that we have here is a redwood. These are trees that my husband demoed off of a project in Modesto. You can see here the light wood color, but once you, this is a living edge that we're gonna have. We're gonna be using these for the kitchen shelves. But once you sand it, wow, you can just really see all the color pop in that. It's just absolutely beautiful. And then we would just go and put a clear coat on this. This is going to get another coat with a lacquer just to be able to hold the color the way that we want it. So we have just one other type of wood that we've used here in the house, and that is going to be a cedar wood, which is here in the boys' closets. Perfect way to be able to keep tennis shoes and football smells out of the boys' room. But it has a lot of character and very pretty as well. And then you can just see we've used trim here in the interior of the boys' bedrooms, and then used the wood as trim on some of the other areas and on the surface of their wall. So with that said, I hope that you enjoy what we are doing here in our house. I hope that you're having a good week, and we will talk with you soon.